Hey guys, back with another YouTube video. Today it's going to be a collections video. Now, as y'all may remember, in a previous video I showed off all my collection of camp knives. And since it's Sunday, it's my day off, and probably by the time this video is posted it won't be Sunday, I figured I would do a video of my guns collection. Now, the only problem is it's gotten so big over the years that I'm actually going to have to break it into parts. This video is going to be mainly pistols, and that's it. In the next video, I'll do my shotguns, my rifles, and that's it. And this one's going to be all my pistols. Now, I don't collect modern firearms, mainly because I'm a history guy. I mainly just collect them if they have a historical convenience to them. Like, there's a whole bunch of them I can use here an example. Like, I have ones that are from 1800s. These are all replicas. Most of these are not real. They're either made by Denix or they're BB guns that I've acquired here and there, and some of these were given to me as gifts. So that's mainly that. So let's get started. I guess the first one I'll start off with is the one I've got in my holster. This is my John Wayne Umrex replica of the Duke's single action army. They sell two different versions of this. They have got the chrome version, which is this version. They've got the blued version, which hopefully I'll get the blued version sometime. Such a beautiful gun in general. My father bought this for me as a birthday present, and this is definitely one of my most favorite guns because it's so accurate to the real thing, and it even sounds like the real thing. And of course the shells go into it just like the real thing. Get one out of my pocket. And even the shells look almost real. And they go in just like the regular gun where you put it at half cock and you rotate the barrel, or you rotate the cylinder. There you are. There's no CO2 in this, so you don't have to worry about it. And then to unload it, it's just like the real gun, where you do it like that and put the ejector out. And there you go. Or, what I also love about this gun is you don't have to use the ejector rod. You can actually just tilt it down, and the shell still falls out. Definitely one of my most favorite guns because it looks so realistic. And made by Umbrax, you can't beat that because they make some very good guns. Because they make BB guns, they make pellet rifles, they make replicas. They're really good companies. Alright, next one I'll start off with is my Co2 BB Scofield Smith & Wesson. Meant to replicate the 1880 Scofield, if I remember right. And sadly though, this one's got a few issues with it. It's got a crack right here on the handle. And I bought it like that, unknowing it, so... But it still shoots pretty well, and it's very accurate, and it looks almost just like the real deal, and it opens and ejects the shells just like the real deal. That was one of my favorite guns, and it still is, because it's still accurate. I plan to buy a new one of these later on, and when I do, I'll most likely sell this one to get it off my hands. Next is my Denix Smith & Wesson Scofield, all chromed out. Let me show you all the difference. So you got the blue version and you got the chrome version. That's why I'm keeping this one. I'm keeping this one till I can get a replacement. Because now I've got the pair. Anyway, this is the Denix Scofield, one of my favorites. This was given to me by an old friend. My buddy JJ Jinx bought this for me as a birthday present. Has real wooden grips, all metal construction, opens just like the real thing. The only thing it doesn't have is the shell ejectors that would eject the shells. Overall, it's one of my favorites because it's so realistic. It's very well made, and these Denix guns are not cheap. This one I think is about $80 online. Oh, I love this gun. And it even rotates like the real thing. Thank you, my friend. Next is my... This is my 1860... This is my Denix replica of an 1860s cap and ball Colt. Gun used widely throughout the Civil War by the Confederates and the Union. I mean, you can't think of a more iconic gun than that. I mean, this gun's been in countless movies, countless Man, there's a lot of things I could say about this gun. It's just a unique piece of history I think everyone should always have. Now, sadly, like I said, this is a replica. It's not the real thing, but it looks and functions like the real thing. The only problem is the cylinder don't rotate anymore because I played with it so much. And I love this gun. And I even blackened the grips just to make it look a lot better. Definitely one of my favorites. And this one, if I remember right, was given to me by my friend JJ Jinx, if I remember right. Next is my 1851 Denix Navy Colt replica with highly engraved markings on it. This one was given to me by my friend Edward in exchange for working on his knife. He got me this. And darn, this thing is beautiful. Just a beautiful gun all in general. Definitely the kind of gun you would see in a movie. This is nice. And of course, still rotates. Definitely one of my favorites. I plan to get one of these that's the regular version where it's all blued and brass, so that way I can have the nice version and the regular version. That's nice. Next is my full-size Denix single-action Colt Army. Everyone knows this gun. This gun is so iconic. It's been in several cowboy movies. It's been in several John Wayne movies. It's been in several movies all in general. Got the full-length barrel, full 7.5-inch barrel. I mean, you can't beat that, and it's a single action. And it rotates just like the real gun. I mean, like I said, the only thing that would... Darn it. The only thing that would make this gun that I have in my holster a lot better is if it had the full 7-inch barrel. Which I do plan to get that model soon if I can find one. Such an iconic gun. This one I remember was given to me by my friend JJ Jinx, so thank you very much, my friend. Next is my very first Denix gun that he got me. The fully chromed out Colt 45 Peacemaker, which is basically the Denix version of this gun. Such an iconic gun, and I can actually remember a movie that this gun has been in, because I did some homework on this. Turns out the movie Magnificent Seven, the main dude, I forgot his name, has one of these in his holster, and this is the exact same gun he uses. Because I did a little research, and the movie prop place that sponsored all those guns was Denix. Such a beautiful gun in general. Oh, it's nice. Such a beautiful gun. Next is the baby of them all, the Colt. I wrote this down so I didn't forget. Colt 1849 pocket pistol. Now, those who didn't catch by the name, it's also called the 49er because a lot of the miners back in the day would carry this particular gun, so that way they could defend their gold stash without a problem, because as you can see, drawing out a normal gun's very fine, but you can keep this gun easily concealed. I mean, it's so small you can easily conceal it in your hand or conceal it in your jacket. Such an iconic gun. This one was given to me by my friend Virgil, if I remember right. Such an iconic gun in general. And I plan to get the version of this where it's all black. Let's see. Next is my Denix 18th century Russia replica of a black powder flintlock. Again, my friend Virgil got this for me. This is definitely the kind of gun you would see in Pirates of the Caribbean. Another reason I wanted it. Such a beautiful gun in general. And of course it works just like the real thing. And then my little pocket gun, my little pocket pistol. This is a Japan flintlock lighter where you would pull the trigger and that would light the frizzen, creating a spark, and that's what would make it light like a lighter. Doesn't really work anymore. Don't know why. I just kept it mainly because I like the look of it. Next is one my father got me. We were at a local pawn shop and we found this. This is an Italian-made starter's pistol. that's meant to replicate a 18, forgot what age, 18 something Derringer. I mean, this gun is so iconic. It's been in so many westerns, and it's just so beautiful in general. And that's another reason I wanted this. This wasn't cheap. This was about $80, and it was worth it. Now, of course, this is a starter's pistol. It's not real. It's got plugs on the end, so that way you can't fire actual ammunition out of it. Still a beautiful gun in general. Alright, those are all my cowboy guns. Next is to go into something more modern. This is one that my brother got me for Christmas. This is a Bear River single and double action revolver, which is double means I can pull the trigger. Single means I can cock the hammer and still fire it. He got me this for Christmas, and I still have it today. One of my favorite guns. I've shot this numerous times in my video. Takes actual brass cartridges. This thing has always been dead on accurate. And it's supposed to be a replication of the 357 Magnum. And I can definitely believe it because my father did a little test and we put an actual 357 shell in this just to see if it fits it. It fits it perfectly. So I can officially say this is a very good replica of a 357. Next is my marksman repeater that my friend Jimmy gave me a while back. Still have it. Still has the original finish on it. Very collectible. Next, I really don't know what this one's called, but I got it in a trade a while back from a guy who wanted some tools, so he traded me this and some money. And on eBay, this runs for about $100, and it's still one of my favorites. I haven't got to shoot it because it takes a bigger size CO2 tank than what you can find at Walmart. Still works. It's one of my favorite guns because it's very unusual, and that's what I like about it. Next is one my dad also gave me. This is his old pellet pistol that he gave me. Where you would put a pellet in here, cock it, and you would pump it up, and it would fire the pellet. One of my favorites that's still dead on accurate. Next is my very first replica that my buddy JJ Jinx first got me off Bug K that I modified. This is a replica of the 1851 Navy. And what I did do it was I shortened the barrel, shortened it, and made it look a lot smaller. And I even painted it black and gold so that way to make it look more realistic. It don't work anymore. It's long since doesn't work anymore. It's for display now. But it's still cool to have because it was one of my first guns. Next is another one JJ Jinx got me. This is a Airsoft version of a 38 Special. Very classic gun. A lot of people recognize it. Now, I modified the barrel a little bit to where I put this one little barrel on here so that way it looks a lot older and it looks like the gun Indiana Jones carried. Airsoft meaning it fires plastic BBs, not metal BBs. Still one of my favorites because it looks the most realistic. Next is my Dirty Harry revolver that my friend Jimmy gave me. It's an old Craftsman. I forgot what this is called. Craftsman. Where's the name at? There it is. Craftsman Model 38T. Meant to replicate the same gun Dirty Harry uses. All metal construction. I have yet to find the right size pellets for it, but I have test fired it to make sure it still shoots, and it shoots perfectly good. Next is my Daisy. It says Daisy Power Out the Line. Bought this at a flea market with my mother, and it's still dead on accurate. I've shot this plenty of times in my videos. And it's definitely a very accurate little pistol. It's like a small 1911. It always curves into my hand really well, and I can always aim it and hit my target without a problem. Definitely one of my favorites. Next is a Airsoft replica of a Walter P38. Second most commonly used gun for the German Army during World War II. This gun is so iconic, it's not even funny. And this one I did some modifications to. I painted the grips brown to make it look a lot older, and I painted, of course, the orange tip. I think if I remember right, my friend Jinx got this for me, and I've shot this in some of my videos as well. It's definitely accurate for an airsoft gun, because most airsoft guns I've had generally are just display. They're not really good for shooting. But still, though, it's still really fun to have. Next, since we brought out the 38, we got to bring out the P08. This is a Umrex version of the P08 Luger CO2 powered BB gun. All metal construction. Looks almost just like the real gun itself. Again, I painted the grips brown to make it look a lot older. And I've shot this in numerous videos because this gun is so accurate. This is what I love about Umrex, is you don't have to do any tweaking to it to make it more accurate. Their guns are dead on accurate right out of the box. I mean, I love Umrex. It's one of my favorite companies, and this is still one of my favorite guns to shoot. Next is a Denix World War II replica of the Webley Mark VI, used by the British military. And again, used by Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, if I remember right. And it takes the same kind of brass cartridges as the regular guns do. Takes the same cartridges. The only thing, of course, it doesn't have the shell ejectors, just like Indiana Jones's gun. But still very an iconic gun, has a lot of good history to it. Next is my little pocket pistol. This is an Italian-made tear gas gun. Basically what that is there would be a little tray that goes inside this gun that has pellets in it that fires tear gas. Basically it was designed as a home defense gun, but of course long since it wouldn't be usable now. It's still a funny little collectible to have, which is the only reason I've kept it. And last but not least, my most favorite little BB gun, my Walter PPK. Gun used by James Bond, used in countless movies, and I even remember, if I remember right, Indiana Jones's dad gets shot by one of these in The Last Crusade, where the bad guy pulls out a Walter and shoots his dad with it. I mean, this gun is so iconic, and it's one of my favorite guns. If I remember right, my friend Virgil bought this gun for me, because I had one originally, and I got into a situation where I needed some money, so I sold that gun, and I still regret that decision. And luckily, I was able to get my old gun back, so to speak. I painted the grips brown, and since then, I fired this numerous times, because it's one of my favorite guns. It sounds realistic, and you can cock the hammer back just like the real gun, and it even has the blowback effect of the real gun. One of my favorites, and I think maybe in the future I'll get another one of these and strip off all the black paint and fully chrome it out. Because you always see two different versions of this gun. You either see the black version or you see the chromed version. And I would love to have the black one and the chrome one to go in my collection. The only thing that would make this BB gun more fun is if they attach the silencer on the end. Again, this is definitely one of my most favorite because it's so small and it still packs a hell of a punch. Alright. That's all my pistols that I've collected over the years. I'll continue to collect more. Vote down below which one was your favorite. Let me know what collections video you want me to do next. And in another video, I'll do another video of all my replica shotguns, my rifles, my rifles and my shotguns. And that's about it. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, stay sharp.